Hi, I'm Cicone Prince, President and CEO of CiconePrince.com, and I just exposed my business on BizLink TV network. Learn how our personal development strategies help you look objectively at yourself so that you can be all that God intended for you to be. Coming up on my episode of That's My Biz on BizLink.tv.
That's My Biz is sponsored by Visita Live Site and Constant Contact. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I'm Pamela Alexander, your host, and as always, we enjoy bringing to you the wonderful businesses, nonprofits, and associations that we meet when we're out there networking. We want to remind you that you can watch this episode again at www.bizlinks.tv. Also follow us on all of our social media channels at BizLinksTV. You know how to find us. Make sure you like us, make sure you subscribe to us, give us some thumbs up, and give us some comments and some feedback as well. We appreciate when you do that. I want to get started today and introduce you to my guest, Mr. Cicone Prince with CiconePrince.com. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, he is a motivational speaker. He is also a well thought out, renowned author as well. And he really just helps individuals and businesses with finding themselves. So we want to talk about that. So, Cicone, first thing I want to ask you, though, is just how did you get started into this particular industry?
Well, I actually got started because I was climbing the wrong mountain.
Okay.
I had a small business which was a 3D animation company. And at a conference in Dallas, Texas, I was actually given an opportunity to pitch my business against 9 other business at the conference. And I had an opportunity to tell the audience and a select panel of judges about my business. Okay. Well, I immediately started, after I got the call that I was going to be in, I immediately started practicing my elevator speech. And I know my older son thought I was crazy because I was actually doing it the night before, even while I was in the bathroom, even while I was getting dressed. But I got an opportunity to go into the room early to kind of see the setup, actually see the stage. And I noticed that they had an AVI guy in the back, and he actually had a system, big screen, and all of that. And they had a timer on the screen behind them that actually counted down to 3 minutes.
Okay.
And like after 3 minutes, they just cut your mic. I mean, in fact, there wasn't any going over. And so what I did was I actually talked to him and said, "Hey, look, can you play an MPEG file?" He said, "Sure." And I actually had my animation demo reel on my phone.
Okay.
So I asked him if he could copy it over, and he did, and he queued it up and played, and everything played well and good. I said, "Okay, well, during the course of my presentation, I'm going to cue you to start that playing."
Okay.
And so I thankfully, in fact, wasn't the first person that they called. I wound up being company number 8.
Okay.
But when I got up there and I started talking, I told about my business and everything, but I had a revelation. And that revelation was that my words could not only sell something, but I could use them to inspire and uplift people.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time that when you're on the wrong mountain, there are 3 things about being on the wrong mountain. In fact, that you can actually benefit. The first thing is you can realize, okay, look, this is not it. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I can X this off my list because this is not my mountain. Yeah. But even halfway up the wrong mountain, you can see the right one. And that's what happened with me. Okay. I saw that my words could actually be used to help uplift people's lives. Okay. But the third thing, even about being on the wrong mountain, is that once you've identified the right one, it's not going to take you that long to get up it because you have mountain climbing skills. Okay. You've learned stuff even climbing the wrong mountain. Right. So once I realized that my words could be used for something more than just selling a product or service, I made that switch. I made a transition. And I actually pushed myself to be more open and to communicate more. And after that particular event, I volunteered for commencement speeches, believe it or not. Wow. And I actually did 2 in my local area, but I got to the point where I realized I needed a coach. Okay. And that's one of the things that in fact, when you've come to the end of yourself, in fact, when you've tapped all of your internal resources, but you know that there has to be more, it opens you up, right? You know, to be subject and to humble yourself to actually get the sort of guidance and coaching that you need.
Okay, I love that. So now, you already know when taking your notes. So one of the first things when talking about your business and getting started is to have a coach. So now let me ask, because I know there's all different types of coaches that are out there. So where does one start? If you're talking about a small business that's getting off the ground, where do they start with finding the right coach and what type of coach?
Well, I would definitely, in fact, suggest having a business coach. In my case, because I was doing motivational speaking, I wanted a motivational speaking coach, someone that was going to coach me in the art of motivational speaking. But he also has been a tremendous help on the business aspect and the actual business side. But for most small business owners, they need to find someone who is willing to invest the time in them, but they also need to invest the time in themselves. And what I mean by that is being willing to pay somebody for their time, for their for their knowledge, even to have them held accountable.
Right.
I remember, in fact, when I first started my coaching program with my coach, in fact, my wife, she was kind of asking how long, in fact, was it going to go. And I realized that even though I had completed my payments, my commitment to him, because of his commitment to me, we went well beyond our allotted time. But it keeps getting better and better because he keeps showing different levels. And he's the type person, he will never stop learning. And he realized that in order for him to continue to bring people along, that he has to go further ahead than we are. And so for small business owners, you definitely have to have someone that's passionate about the area, the fact that your discipline is in, but also someone that is willing to hold you accountable and also, in fact, demand the most of you to bring you along.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, your book. So we've already been talking about these mountains here. Now y'all are saying, what in the world are you talking about? So your book, Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? Finding Your True Purpose. So you gave a couple of tidbits just about that and the mountains and all of that and finding that particular one. But kind of give everyone a little bit more insight into the book.
Okay, well, the inspiration for the book was a quote. That our coach had us studying quotes, memorizing them. And I came across a quote by Dr. Miles Monroe. And the quote said that the greatest failure in life is to succeed at the wrong assignment. And when I first heard that quote, the first thing that came in my mind was a picture of somebody standing on top of a mountain saying, I did it! But at the bottom of the picture, the caption said, but you're on the wrong mountain. And I think that there are so many people that are doing stuff that they were trained to do as opposed to stuff that they were ordained to do. Because the quote says that the greatest failure in life is to succeed at the wrong assignment. And oftentimes we give ourselves our own assignment. But the reality is, are we truly doing what we were made to do? And so in fact, the book, it actually explores that because chapter 1 talks about being dissatisfied. And most of us will agree that we hate Mondays. But when you hate Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's a pretty good indication that you're on the wrong mountain, that you're not doing something that you love and something that is really a passion for you. And so I basically in the book, I take you through a process of evaluating where you are as opposed to where you're supposed to be. And I use the term mountain, because even if I were to say, oh, you're climbing the wrong ladder, ladders are pretty much, they're short and you can move from place to place. But when you consider a mountain and the energy and the effort put into climbing one, and then you realize, I'm on the wrong one. So I use, in fact, the mountain as somewhat of a metaphor as far as like your life and your actual purpose in life. And so.
Yeah, I love it. So you all already know you need to get the book and find out more about it. So because I also want to ask, so you mentioned about people finding their purpose. A lot of people are just in the jobs and doing the things that they were trained to do versus doing the things that they were ordained to do. How does someone discover or uncover the difference?
Okay. Well, when you think about the thing that you do and you don't even look at the clock, you don't even look at your watch, you don't pick up your cell phone to see what time it is, how long you've been there. When you find yourself doing something that you're just passionate about, that you get excited about, that there's somebody wake you up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you are just ready to go, that is a good indication that that is your right mountain. But when you find yourself working in a job that you just hate, I remember hearing Les Brown say he worked at a job that he hated, but he was praying that he didn't get fired. And when he said that, I was like, I can relate because I've been there. I've been there. But it's finding out what really motivates you as an individual And even Les Brown said at one time that you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And there are some times when people have a hard time identifying, well, in fact, what is my right mountain? And it takes somebody close to you, somebody who cares about you, that can actually point out the fact, when you go talk to seniors, you're just at home. I mean, they light up when you walk in the room, and you spend all day there, and you never even worry about how long you've been there. Well, that could be an area, that could be your mountain. Or even if it's landscaping. Steve Harvey talks about a friend of his who would not hang out with them late because he had to get up early to cut grass. And they were like, really? You going to get up and cut? But that was his mountain. That's what he loved to do. And now he has an over $4 million a year landscaping company. So he found his mountain. And my thing is, if you can find something that you love to do and get paid for it, you'll never work another day in your life.
You're absolutely right. And then, and then I want to even take that to the next step, because once you find that, because just like Steve Harvey's friend, once you find that, you need to be able to put into it what you need to put into it, and then now you've discovered it. Now we're talking about building a business.
Yes.
So now it's taking things to a whole deeper level and doing the things that you need to do to be successful. Because just because you love it and you do it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be successful in it, right?
Exactly. It takes a level of persistence and being relentless in order for you to get that momentum going to where you can actually take care of yourself and your family.
Yep, I like that. I always talk about as individuals, are you interested or are you committed? And and you may have heard that quote. People that are interested in something only do it when it's convenient. People that are committed to something only accept results, not excuses. And you may be interested in what that thing is that you have the passion with it, but are you really committed to it and ready to do the things that you need to do, even though you may have discovered is the mountain, your mountain?
Exactly. And no one climbs a mountain half-heartedly. I mean, you have to purposely put in the effort. You have to do the research. It takes some time. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So you have to have a team. Nobody scales a mountain by themselves. And we've already talked about a coach, but there's still other support people that are needed in order for you to actually be the best that you can be.
Yeah, that's it. So now you've got a couple other tidbits in there, but I want to point out the part about building that team and then relying on the other resources that you need to really help you grow, whether it's business or whether it's personally as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now let me ask you, what motivates you?
What motivates me, believe it or not, the person that hasn't heard me.
Okay.
The person that's waiting on me.
Okay.
Because I believe that there's somebody waiting on all of us. I mean, we all have something to offer, something to give. In fact, whether it's a play that's being written, whether it's a piece of chicken to be fried, whatever it is, somebody is waiting. They won't listen to Les Brown. They won't listen to Tony Robbins, but they'll listen to me. And so I honestly believe that all of us have something to contribute and something to offer. And for me, I tell people all the time, Les Brown says that the number one fear in the world is public speaking. I'm afraid not to. Because when I look at the gifts and the abilities that God has given me, I feel obligated. I can't go somewhere and sit down. I can't go somewhere and be quiet. I have to share, even if it's in the smallest venue, what I've been given. Because I know that there's somebody, and see, the thing is, I don't know who it is. So I can't just stop. So I have to keep going, and I have to keep sharing, and I have to keep telling my story and encouraging and motivating people that there's somebody waiting on them. Just as they're waiting on me.
And can't you see the passion? I hope you can see it flowing through this camera right now. First, before we go to a break, I want to make sure that you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, and then also please tell them how they can get your book. Okay.
Well, everything about me can be found out on my website, which is ciconeprince.com. That's CiconePrince.com. You can also search all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Just search for Cicone Prince and you'll find me. My book is also available on my website, but you can also search for it on Amazon. You can search for it by the author or the title.
Fantastic. We love that. We like to make it easy for you so you have no excuses. Go ahead and go out and grab that book and check out everything that he has to offer on his website. We are going to take a break for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
How does your small business stay top of mind with customers? From deals that bring them in with an offer, to social media promotions that turn fans into customers, To events that engage and create buzz, to emails that keep loyal customers coming back. Our easy-to-use tools will keep you in front of your customers.
Visita provides a complete business calendar, fully integrated with your client scheduling experience. You can view and manage your daily schedule and any upcoming meetings, and most importantly, schedule new appointments and follow-ups with your clients. Using Visita Calendar for client scheduling will save you time and deliver a better service to your clients. Visita Calendar automatically syncs with your existing calendar on Google, Outlook, iPhone, and more.
Welcome back, everyone. Again, we want to thank our sponsors. We know without them, we would not be able to keep this show going on and keep it on the air, so we're excited. As always, please make sure that you support them. If you're interested in being a sponsor, you can reach out to us at That's My Biz at bizlinks.tv. Also, I want to thank you, our viewers, because without you, it's not possible either. We need you watching each and every single episode, and we need you to continue giving us your feedback, like us out there, and make sure that you give us those thumbs up, too. We need that. But give us some feedback for our guests so that we can make sure that we continue to engage with them. Make sure you reach out to them as well. So we're talking to Mr. Cicone Prince, and he's a motivational speaker, well-renowned author. So we want to talk a little bit more because I also hear that your book has won awards.
Yes, it has. Actually, I won an award for the Self-Publishing Authors Network at the Men of Vision Conference earlier this year. And I've also gotten some incredible feedback on the book. I had this one young lady, she read the book, and she told me, I read your book. It's okay. She said, and I quit my job. I said, you did what?
Because she read the book.
Because she read the book. She said that my book was the push that she needed in order for her to do what she wanted to do and what she loved to do. And that was be a traveling events planner. I also had this other young man, he said, I read your book and I'm starting a band. He and his friends, they would just get together and they would just play. But they actually, after reading the book, after hearing one of my speeches, he said, I'm ready to go for it. And they played several venues, and I mean literally sold out and sold like over 200 T-shirts. So I was excited about that, just to think at the information fact that I was able to offer them actually help them move their life in the direction, the fact that they want.
And then, like you mentioned earlier, just making that difference, reaching that one particular person that's looking for you, that needs you. Like you said, they may not listen to some of the other folks out there, but they'll listen to you. I often talk with people, and they're like, oh, there's already this many people doing this. I was like, but they don't know you. They don't know them, but they do know you, so, go ahead and do it. There's enough to go around there. So now, how can people get more of Cicone Prince?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I also have a DVD, which is entitled Cicone Prince Daily Dose of Vitamin C. Videos to help you connect with your purpose, correct your process, and communicate your passions. And basically, this is a collection of 28 videos that I've done via my coach that I actually, and they're like 3 to 5 minutes, but you have over an hour and a half worth of content on here. And one of the videos on here is entitled, What Are You Wearing and Where Are You Going? And in the video, I actually talk about a guy that had on some bowling shoes, some khaki pants, a polo shirt, but he had on a glove with the fingers cut out. And I thought to myself, that guy's probably going bowling. I saw this other young man that had on some steel-toe boots, some work pants, a work shirt, and a hat. I thought to myself, he's probably going to work. Then I talked about, so what are you wearing? And where are you going? Because it's your attitude, even as a small business owner, which is going to determine your altitude. Your measure of success is directly related to where you see yourself going, as opposed to where you currently are. And it's important for us to be able to actually think about our success and plan for our success before we're there. I tell my kids all the time, I'm not raising kids. I'm raising adults. They look at me like, what do you mean? We're not adults. I said, okay. I said, do you wait till you get to school to put your school clothes on? I said, no. I said, you wait till you get to church to put your church clothes on? No, sir. I said, do you wait until you get in the pool to put your swimming suit on? He said, no, sir. I said, why? Because you always get ready somewhere else. You always get dressed somewhere else. I said, you don't wait until you become an adult to learn how to be one. And the same thing is true for entrepreneurs. You learn how to be a success before you become successful. you don't become successful and then learn how to. You learn
Right.
in the process. In the process of you learning how to be a success, you actually become one.
Right.
And so this DVD, it focuses on those sort of things, which really helps individuals do what I call personal development, taking an objective look at themselves in order for them to be a better person. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Just being the best version of who you are. Because we owe it to those around us to know our purpose and then to live in that. Mark Twain said it like this: the two most important days in your life is the day you were born, and the second one is the day you found out why. And that's what this DVD helps, that's what the book helps, and that's what my purpose is, to help people to understand, to discover their purpose, and to do so in such a way to where they can impact the world around them and make things better.
Yeah. Well, so if you all didn't know why you needed to contact him, I hope it's become clear for you why you need to contact him. Now, I want to ask you as well. Now, you mentioned an important thing that small business owner has to have.
Okay.
What is that?
Well, they have to have the tenacity to keep going in spite of any setbacks.
Okay.
And it's also important that you have a team of people around you. You know, we've already talked about a coach.
Okay.
But it's also important to have a team of folks. You know, in fact, when I was in college, and in fact, when I moved, I would not have to have a whole lot of people help me when I first went to college, because I really didn't have that much stuff.
Right.
I mean, I literally, I could actually take a sheet, put it in the middle of the floor, take everything in the room, throw it in the sheet, tie it up, and put it in the trunk of my car, because I didn't have that much stuff.
Right.
But as time went on, I accumulated more things.
Okay.
So what I had to do, I had to get help from my classmates. And of course, you couldn't tell anybody, no, I'm not helping you move, because you know in 3 months or 6 months, you were going to need that help.
Exactly.
And so the bigger that our goals are, the more that we want to accomplish, you have to have it. You can't do it alone. You have to have help.
That's it.
And so that's what I try to encourage people to do. Build a team. Even if you can't build one, rent one until you can build your own.
Right.
Pay for what you need, realize what you need, and then make the investment, because it's going to be worth it in the long run.
That's fantastic. I love that. So such great information. Now, before we go, I always want to ask one last question, which is for our audience. What advice, and you again talking about discovering yourself or introducing someone to yourself.
Right.
Now, tell them what that really means and how you can truly help them do that.
Okay. Well, oftentimes we never really take an objective look at ourselves. It's sad to say, but a lot of times it takes for things in life, situations to come up that really allow us to actually just look at who we are.
Right. Yeah.
We have to have a blowout instead of it being a slow leak.
Yes.
And so what I encourage people to do in a moment that's non-threatening, when they're not in a heated argument, or in fact, when they're not facing a crisis, that they look at themselves, why do I spend so much money?
Okay.
Or why do I get so angry when someone does this or does that? Or why do I just go over the top when someone just tells me I'm beautiful? I mean, what is it about me that puts me in that position, that puts me in that mind frame? What went into my childhood? What caused me to think that way and to have those sort of reactions? Because if you do that, what happens is you better define who you are. None of us come with owner's manuals. But if we take the time to understand ourselves, to understand our tendencies, to understand our fears and our weaknesses, what we can do is we can better position ourselves for success.
Right. There y'all go. So you have it. Cicone, we appreciate you coming out and joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everyone, you make sure that you get the book, Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? You need to know about that. Get the DVDs as well so that you can just get that wealth of information that you need and get that inspiration. That's what he's all about. He's looking for you and wants to reach out to you, whether it's at a live event or whether it's through his resources here. Before we leave again, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
CiconePrince.com. That's CiconePrince.com. And you can search that on all social medias. And I oftentimes tell people the easiest way to remember my name is to write it on a check.
I'm going to borrow that one.
Okay.
I'll give you credit first time.
Okay.
I love it. Everyone, you know how to get in touch with him. You know why you need to get in touch with him. Make sure that you do that. Also, continue to give us your feedback, please, on our Facebook, facebook.com/BizLinksTV. You know, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BizLinksTV. Give us some thumbs up, but make sure you subscribe. That way you stay up to date on all our episodes as they are released. And, of course, come back to www.bizlinks.tv so you can check out this episode again. Share it with others that may need that extra little push that they don't even necessarily realize that they need. I'm Pamela Alexander with BizLinks TV Network, exposing your business to the world.